How's it going, everybody? We are back with the now top 6 of Shuffle 8 here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm Max Ketchum.
I'm JV, and we're going to be getting into some fantastic Smash 4 action. We saw some great stuff in the losers bracket, but of course, when we were talking beforehand, this is the match. This is the one that you were really excited for.
Yeah, I think everyone watching from the whole Midwest and even from California, and especially me right here, are very excited for this match. We've got Zinoto, top dog in the Midwest, minus Ally, who he has been taking sets off pretty consistently lately, versus Ido, one of the best Meta Knights in the business, if not the best in the U.S. Very, very closely tied with Tyrant, who's his Southern California companion now that he's moved down there. So this is a hotly contended match here because Midwest has been looking for months and years even to put themselves on the map in the grand scheme of things. You know, meanwhile California has all the exposure they can ask for. So most people would probably like at first just favor the California player, right? But Zinoto has tons of accomplishments under his belt, especially lately, taking out DeBuzz, among others. You know, many sets off Ally. So this is really hype here. This is a lot on the line here for Midwest, but I think both players really have what it takes to either bring this to Game 5 and bring it home.
And I'm intrigued by your use of the word exposure because that's almost the opposite of Ido. He's very much that sleeper agent, right?
Oh yeah, that's very true.
You know, he's sort of that assassin that a lot of folks may not know about. So he definitely has a bit to prove as well, though I'm not even sure if he prefers the spotlight from time to time. Definitely an amazing player, like you said, one of the best Meta Knights to ever do it in the States, and we can already see why. Really great start so far coming out for Ido. He has Zinoto in the triple digits, but he's somehow able to just make it back. Nearly kissed the bottom blast zone there, actually took a little bit of damage. But he got stage control back, and he has the peel in play. He's going to be looking for some knockdowns, and there it is, down tilt, going into the grab this time. He knows that the up smash won't KO, but the up air will. That was fantastic. And it was excellent, too, because he's really taking advantage of the fact that Meta Knight as a character is definitely on the floaty side, but of course, Meta Knight's so good at dishing it right back off the top, and a dead even game as we get closer to that 2-minute marker.
Meta Knight's actually somewhat of a fast faller, which allows him to be comboed by Diddy Kong's up throw into up air at pretty high percents for a light guy like that. So yeah, I'm very surprised to have seen it kill at 100, but again, we've seen this theme throughout pretty much all the Smash 4 singles matches that have been streamed. Such even competition. Everyone has been perfectly matched for each other. Like, eHarmony needs to steal the Shuffle 8 formula, man, because it's looking great. Oh no! That's it!
Wow, and so many great decisions that we saw from Ido on stage led to that offstage conversion. The way that he was actually able to take control of the banana peel, get the knockdowns, get a little bit more control of the stage, force Zinoto into the corner, it was just brilliant. And right there, of course, making the most of Meta Knight's phenomenal edge guarding tools to go down, get that little slice that he needed to make sure that he couldn't charge up the jetpack long enough to get back onto the stage.
That's all it takes, man, because Diddy Kong sinks like a rock when he's reeling from knockback still and starts to charge that up B. And Ido is just an absolute demon off the stage, man. He will not let you breathe. But by the same token, Zinoto's on-stage control is of a comparable level. He tries to shut you out with that banana, bait you to approach by charging Peanut, and then, you know, he's ready for that grab. He knows what you're going to do against his setup and is very well prepared for it.
So how do you feel about the counter pick here? What's he hoping to accomplish?
Well, I mean, this was pretty much the standard go-to Diddy Kong counter pick throughout all of the Brawl years. You know, go to Final Destination. It's got a lot of space. Diddy Kong can plant a banana on the floor and just, you know, camp to his heart's content. But by the same token, he also doesn't have platforms to mix up his recovery onto, and it seems to be something Ido is thriving on, is getting these edge guards.
It's definitely possible that he wanted to also go to a stage without platforms to kind of limit some of the shenanigans we usually see with the up air strings from Meta Knight. But again, with Meta Knight having so many jumps, I mean, how much mitigation are we really going to be seeing in the exchange of what you were talking about, that mix-up recovery potential? So far, we definitely need to consider just the speed that Ido is playing with, and sort of the zone as well, because while we have seen Zinoto pull out the banana peel a couple of times, he hasn't been able to utilize it. Of course, as I say, he gets a KO off of it.
Gorgeous. Banana to down tilt to F smash. You don't really see people do stuff like that, man. Like, and when you think of, like, who's the best Diddy Kong in the United States, a lot of people would just say right off the bat, MVD, you know, and a lot of people even consider, like, Angel Cortez before they think about Zinoto, and it's because of those regions having so much exposure compared to the Midwest. And same thing, when you think of Meta Knight, you think Abadongo, MKLeo, right? But Ido outplaced Abadongo at Genesis, and Zinoto outplaced both Angel Cortez and MVD. So these guys, you know, they're the true sleepers, and they are amazing with their characters. So I think, you know, whoever wins this, if they go on to defeat M2K in Winners Finals, it's really going to be like a big win under their belt and a nice accomplishment to get them some of what they deserve here. But so far, Ido, even though he's down a stock here, he's really not letting up. He's going for these kill confirms pretty much at every opportunity.
And he's going to need to find them as well. I mean, 69% of extra credit and counting for Zinoto at this point. It's looking very, very grim. He's getting closer and closer to the point where that banana peel, as we saw in that Smashville match, is going to be enough. That one knockdown would be all that he needs, I believe, around this point to go and ensure the KO.
Yeah, if he gets him by the edge with banana to forward smash, it is most likely going to be curtains. And now at 94 for sure. I want to see Diddy Kong players do more of banana throw and then perfect pivot in forward smash because it allows you to confirm that from a longer range than normal.
Ido gets the grab. He has a bit of positioning. Let's see what he's going to be able to do with it. Bear is going to give him positioning again. But again, jetpacking right on, forcing the trump. And now the tables have turned yet again. This is looking like such an uphill battle. But Ido, again, he plays a character like Meta Knight. He has that comeback potential, but it's going to be about doing what Meta Knight kind of struggles with. And it's closing out stocks in this very kind of range, right? I feel like Meta Knight is so good whenever it's like sub 100, right? Sub 100 club, he has just such great tools, especially at the lower percentages. He can just rack up so much damage, even get KOs off of the top. But especially at those higher percentages, while he has some really quick smash attacks like that forward smash, it can be really, really tough just because his range isn't necessarily the best. He doesn't have those same level of setups, and that's kind of what we saw. Going into this next game, Ido, he's probably thinking to himself, I need to ensure that I can walk away with this first stock. I need to make sure that I can establish tempo, and I need to make sure that it doesn't get to those percents where I kind of suffer what would be considered like melee arthritis.
Yeah, and even worse than that is when they pop out of the first city or shuttle loop and it doesn't complete, like at the high percents. It's super irritating, but it looks like Ido might not even have to deal with that right now. Don't do the up B, yes, very smart. Carries him with Tornado. It's not going to kill, but it's certainly a lot of damage.
75 out the gate, and this is what we're talking about whenever we look at this potential. This how phenomenal some of Meta Knight's early game options are. It's just amazing to watch. But now Ido is at a bit of a timer, I feel, right? He's going to need to be able to take this stock before Zinoto can kind of crawl back into this match, because while Ido has like this rapid curve of sorts from the start, it kind of starts to plateau off just because of how Meta Knight as a character works. But Zinoto playing a character like Diddy Kong, man, that's just scary all the way through.
Yeah. And, you know, just last night we were talking about fire and ice dynamics. I think this matchup is definitely a lot like that. You know, Meta Knight gets in there once and just causes havoc, but Diddy Kong progressively is going to build, 25% every time he gets it confirmed. But he has a much more stable neutral game, as he can hold on to that banana. That's a free punish off of anything that he blocks.
And as we're saying this, right there, Zinoto put on 74% of damage uncontested, because the initial combo sequence put on 75, and right here, Zinoto right back into the fray of things. Even though he's at a percent disadvantage, I would say that he's still in advantage if we're looking at this game, even from a stage position temporarily. But Ido, so daunting with that dash, able to kind of scare Zinoto back into the corner a bit. He wants that bit of separation. He wants to be able to pull out that peel because he knows that that's his go-to at this kind of a percent.
Now, Ido just swinging these forward smashes, even though it's kind of slow on startup, that is almost non-existent and lag on that move. So, one of the things Meta Knight struggles with in this matchup is not having something safe to deal with the shielding Diddy with the banana. Forward smash, I believe, still will get punished by simply the banana throw out of shield, but he needs to be holding on to it in order to get that. So, he knows I can just safely pressure with forward smash. If you dare drop your shield or try to rush me at this point, it's over.
Zinoto getting that up throw, and the up air as well.
Another up air, wow. Meta Knight gets so easily comboed by that due to his fast-falling nature, and, being light is going to make it pretty easy to get the kill, especially in Town and City. Agreed.
Yeah, and that's maybe a sign of the counter pick coming back, maybe to haunt Ido even. Zinoto still off to a very strong start, and Ido, he's finding those same problems that he had in Game 2, where he's really failing to close out this stock initially, and it feels like Zinoto is just pulling further and further ahead. Monkey flip coming out, going to get some more damage and even more control of the stage, and beyond that, it gives him the separation that he needs to pull out the banana peel, seeing as, again, we're getting closer to that percentage where the banana peel is going to be so important to get some of these KOs.
And now we're seeing Ido revert to kind of an old-school brawl tactic of doing down airs, jumping away on the shield. That is also one thing that Diddy Kong can't punish with just simply banana throw out of shield. And although it's not really likely to open him up, it still is safe pressure. It's more time for Ido to collect his thoughts and get Zinoto scared of him, but it doesn't look like that is the it doesn't look like the desired effect is occurring right now. Zinoto looking very confident here.
incredibly confident. Lapping Ido in percent. Ido, however, getting some of the grab release. That would have been scary.
Yeah, it would have been pretty sick, but it looked like Zinoto was ready. He actually has a pretty solid pocket Meta Knight of his own. So almost nothing is going to catch him by surprise in this matchup. But same goes for Ido, who most likely has ample Diddy Kong experience.
Ample experience, but
maybe not against the Diddy of this caliber.
Not against this demon of the Midwest. That's for sure. Zinoto, a game away from going to winners finals here, and a game away from taking out his fellow sleeper agent.
Right. Yeah. This is definitely the battle of the breakout players here, and we were talking about that. Day and I were talking about that during Colonies versus Nam. You know, two members of the young blood. You know, just trying to show that they've got what it takes to deserve their spot on the stage. So definitely a lot of pressure here for both of these guys, but I mean, they're seasoned tournament veterans at this point. I know they'll be able to put the nerves aside and give it their best shot here, though Zinoto is definitely riding a huge momentum wave going into Game 4.
And I really do enjoy this counter pick. I remember watching J-Band versus ESAM, and he was able to just utilize Dreamland for all that it's worth. And wow, 0 to death in 17 seconds. Not even utilizing those platforms. Just, again, perfectly executed edgeguard sequence.
And usually, when you see a Meta Knight 0 to death, it's off the other end of the Y-axis. Yeah. It's usually going off the top. But Ido showing that, you know, despite Meta Knight's range reduction since Brawl, his edgeguard abilities are still pretty much right there.
Especially against a character like Diddy Kong. Again, a character who has really long recovery, but if you know how to edgeguard it properly, it's definitely not an amazing recovery.
Right. But it's slightly versatile, but still linear enough. Oh, are we going to see another one?
Not quite, not quite. Zinoto that time jumping up high and using that monkey flip. He doesn't want to put himself in that position where Ido can just get a quick downer and then pretty much spell disaster. He's fallen for a couple of these edge guards in this set, and I don't think he's looking to fall for another one.
Yeah, usually you want to save your mix-ups until the bitter end. And even though he's still up at game, but this stock was about to evaporate if he didn't say, all right, like, I'm just going to show my high recovery mix-up. Doesn't matter. I need to keep myself alive.
That's right.
It's more valuable than keeping the cards in his pocket.
Definitely. And look what he's able to do with it on top of that. He may have had that 0 to death happen, but he hasn't let it affect his mentality at all. He's already climbing back into this game as Ido is trying to figure out some sort of way to really open up Zinoto at this point.
Yeah, we've got some serious resilience coming out from Zinoto, but
it's the opening.
Yeah, not going to quite do it. Maybe with a little more rage from Ido, but still, he needed just a few more percent to start the combo. Either way, almost an even game already. Just 2 or 3 banana confirms from Zinoto, and we're looking at potentially an advantage for him.
But this is what I love to see from Ido. Again, taking one of Zinoto's best tools, that banana peel, and using it against him for opportunities. Zinoto in the corner manages to find his way out, but Ido still right back on the offensive. I love the play that we're seeing from him, but Zinoto maybe taking advantage of some of the momentum, some of the haste that he has, gets a banana peel. He's going to be getting some nice damage as well. Only about 20% separating these two players. This game could honestly go either way at this point.
Yeah, I don't know whether it would be in Ido's best interest to either like hit that chill button, start playing a more relaxed and passive style, or to just continue bum rushing Zinoto and try to overwhelm him. So far, it looked like, you know, that paid off in Game 1 in the first stock of this match. It looked like when Ido was just unrelenting and just went in, then Zinoto kind of cracked. And he seems to thrive in that patient. But also, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself.
You know, Max, if we want to talk about hot and cold again, I'd love a mixture of both from Ido. I would love to see him run up very aggressively, then maybe power shield the banana that's coming in, pick it up, get the knockdown, and then get the KO from there.
But, right. Ido's showing a lot of desire to play around with the banana because, you know, Meta Knight has such a solid kit of B moves that he can actually just hold on to it the whole time until, you know, he gets hit and is forced to drop it. Tornado and up B already do quite a lot for this character. Ido with the down throw at the edge, those could be big.
He's got plenty of positioning to work with, plenty of ground, but wow, Zinoto sneaking in that forward air.
Those twinkle toes, man.
I feel like I might have even seen Ido reel back, getting ready for the F smash as well. He was so unfortunate that he got hit by that option.
And look at that pressure from Zinoto. It's like the silent pressure there. It's like, okay, I'm not going to actually swing on you, but just me being here is scary enough. And then up throw on the top, not going to do it, of course.
That was scary.
It's not Kirby.
Being right on that top platform, definitely a terrifying moment. Zinoto on the ropes here, the F smash! Oh. And that was exactly what I was talking about hot and cold, right? Instead of just bulldozing in there, he takes that moment, he pauses, Zinoto flinches, and he gets 2 because of it. Yep. Beautiful, beautiful work. Ido coming out on top and bringing this to, I believe this is
going to be Game 5.
Wow, Game 5! Yep. This is actually going
It's
the
actually
distance.
happening, yeah.
And how fitting. How fitting. Like we said, both of these players definitely have a lot to prove. And playing against Mewtwo King would be one thing, but a win against Mewtwo King would definitely cement them. It would be amazing. I've seen a moment happen before with Mew Squared. I would love to see something like that happen again, but here we are, game number 5. And how fitting is it that we're going to Smashville?
Yeah, right? I mean, it's where it starts and ends, man. It died how it lived.
Well, I don't know if Zinoto's gonna be living for much longer, but wow, Ido, rare mistake actually on the shuttle loop. Ends up dropping that combo.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have been enough to get the KO, honestly. It's
No,
that
definitely
low.
not even close. But if we had seen him go for what he went for on Town and City with the tornado, he would have gotten a lot more damage, and it probably would have actually connected. But are we going to see another nasty Ido edge guard?
Another nasty Ido edge guard, and I think that empirically, every single game that he's had one of those types of edge guards, he's been able to come out on top. So Zinoto in a very bad position here.
Yeah, but we saw him still almost make a comeback from an even worse position at the beginning of Game 4. Oh, very nice. Swinging the forward air on the way down. Not getting scared and air dodging. Like most people probably, like a lesser Diddy Kong probably would have.
That's right, but Zinoto, again, one of the most slept-on Diddy Kong mains out there, one of the finest to ever do it. But now a stock away from being sent to this loser's bracket, and a stock away from forgoing his chance to maybe prove himself and cement himself among the community as a whole.
Yeah, but Ido still only a tad over a stock away from the same fate, so really down to the wire here. I'm not sure who's going to end up pulling away and taking it, because we've seen Zinoto's mental composure just... Basically, it's impenetrable. This guy doesn't seem to get nervous. Oh, but Ido doesn't seem to drop combos. And
Oh my god, what a convincing finish it in there. A beautiful 2-stock, but